Hey guys, welcome back to Origins, our video series that explores the origins of all your favorite characters. I'm your host Kelly Pally, and today we're looking at one of the Guardians of the Galaxy, one of Earth's finest, Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. And we'll be focusing on his origin from the comics rather than the films. So let's jump in. Created by Steve Englehart and Steve Gunn, Star-Lord first appeared in Marvel Preview number 4 in 1976, which was a black and white publication at the time. Englehart actually had a much different plan for the character initially. He said, and I quote, "I conceived something very large. My hero would go from being an unpleasant, introverted jerk to the most cosmic being in the universe, and I would tie it into my then new interest in astrology. After his earthbound beginning, his mind would be opened step by step, with a fast action story on Mercury, a love story on Venus, a war story on Mars, and so on out to the edge of the solar system, and then beyond. But after his earthbound beginning, where I established him as an unpleasant introverted jerk, I left Marvel, so no one ever saw what he was to become." Chris Claremont would then take on the character, with Peter making appearances in Marvel Preview, Marvel Super Special, Marvel Spotlight, and Marvel Premiere, and then eventually appearing in Thanos in 2004 from issues 8 to 14, and then in Annihilation in 2006 with issues 1 to 6. After getting his own crossover feature in Annihilation Conquest, the character was moved to Guardians of the Galaxy, leading the team for its 25-issue run. Enough about the publication history though, onto his origin story. When Peter's father, Jason, crashes his ship on Earth, an Earthling by the name of Meredith Quill takes him in. The two fall in love while Jason repairs his ship, and eventually Jason has to return home to fight in a war. And when he found out that Meredith was pregnant with Peter, he promised to return for her after the war, but mind-locked her memories to spare her the heartache he was feeling. Peter grew up as a bit of a loner, but was always in love with sci-fi, with a particular interest in NASA. When he was 11, Meredith was murdered by two Badoon soldiers who had come to assassinate Peter, in an attempt to end Jason's bloodline. Peter kills them with a shotgun, manages to find his father's old gun, and escapes via the Badoon ship. Peter is then placed into an orphanage and would eventually join NASA. At NASA, he was accepted into their Space Effort astronaut program, and despite his high scores in the program and saving the life of a fellow trainee, he was socially withdrawn, and therefore was passed on for a program going out to Mars. After an altercation with another astronaut, Peter was discharged, but instead of going back to Earth, he stole a Kree ship, outflew the security of the space station, and left Earth for good. His spaceship is eventually stranded, and he's found by Ravengers, who are led by Yondu. Peter, taking advantage of the situation, tried to steal the ship, outsmarting the whole crew and even knocking out Yondu. But it wasn't enough to keep Yondu down. He gave Peter a choice between letting him be released without more trouble or getting killed on the spot. Instead, Peter convinced him to let him join his crew. But his membership didn't last. When Yondu gets Peter to help him steal another spaceship, the Astron 1, with the promise of giving him a gem that would tell him where the Badoon ship was that killed his mother, Peter gets cold feet. He steals the gem from Yondu, lets the ship's crew go free, and sets out solo, starting his career as Star-Lord. There you have it, guys. Did you know all of that about Peter Quill? We definitely had to leave out some details because he's got one hell of a rich origin story. Did you guys dig the video though? Make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons if you did. And make sure you let us know who you want to see in the next Origin video in those comments below. But for now, I'm Kelly Pally, and this has been Origins on Top 10 Nerd. I'll catch you guys in the next one.